All right, welcome. We're back with another Weekend No Show. I'm here with my boy, Mr. CL Smooth. What's up, man?
What's good, homie?
Hey, man, doing good. And of course, the Insidious L.A.T. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Hanging in there, bro.
Well, we got a very special episode, and I think I will call this one the Vision Quest. And I'm gonna leave that to you, LAT. Let us know what's really going on with that, man. What are we talking about?
Oh gosh. So I decided for my birthday this year that I would go on a little bit of a journey, an inward journey to, I don't know, maybe tap into, this whole spirit animal or this sort of enlightenment thing that people talk about all the time. So I figured, you know what? Why not? Let's see. Maybe I'll learn some deep dark secrets that I just have been sitting on. And so a friend of mine here in Fresno gave me some mushrooms, and they were I can't tell you the name of them. They were just psychedelic mushrooms, and
Sure.
yeah. So yeah, I decided I'm gonna give it a 3 day. I'm gonna give it 3 days. And on the Thursday after my birthday, I I fasted. Yeah, I did all the instructions. The guy who gave them to me told me, try not to have a lot of food in your belly. Uh, you might want to fast the day before. Make sure you're in a safe space and all, and all this stuff. So I did all the prep. Uh, and I went on a journey on the day after my birthday, and it was interesting. I didn't, it wasn't any of the sort of, I didn't see colors or anything. I did feel very sleepy. Yeah, I had a bit of a stomach ache. I was definitely feeling the effects of the mushrooms, but it did not take me, sadly. Maybe my brain isn't ready for that yet, or maybe the spirits haven't deemed me worthy or something. I don't know, but I just felt, I definitely felt, different, but I mostly just wanted to go to sleep. So that was my so that was my mushroom journey. I wish it had been something cooler, but that was it.
That's a good trip, man.
I mean, yeah, it was cool. I was here. I listened to music, and I don't know. I think I watched some old Star Trek episodes or something. I don't even remember, but I just kind of chilled in the house because I was like, I definitely didn't want to deal with people. It made me a little bit paranoid. So I was
Okay.
just like, I'm definitely not going out there.
Well, let me ask you
So
this. Let me ask you
yeah,
something. First of all, happy birthday. But
thank you, thank you.
um, what was supposed to happen? I mean, what were you looking for? Is there anything that is supposed to happen in these situations, or is it just your mileage may vary?
Yeah, your mileage may vary. It's at least this is what I'm told. I don't want to purport to be some expert in mushrooms or psychedelics or any of that stuff, but I'm told that for each person is different, and that if you do it right, it's a very pleasant, mind-opening experience. So maybe I didn't do it right, but no harm, no foul. I'm not any worse for having tried it. I don't feel. It's not like
Agree.
crack. It's not like crack. I'm not like, oh, I gotta chase that. I gotta chase that dragon.
So you,
I've
you
never
didn't
I've never had crack, by the way.
you didn't have any kind of like sometimes they say you're supposed to see like visions or other entities or get in touch with your real self. You didn't have any of that.
I didn't get any of that. If I'm being honest with myself, like I said, I might have, giggled a little bit here and there, just kind of like, oh, this is crazy. but but I definitely did not, go to another plane, or yeah, nothing deep happened. Not for me. Maybe, like I said, maybe I'm just not built for it. Maybe I'm just like too serious, or I just get tired. I'm just like, you know what? Maybe if I had fought through the tiredness, maybe that was what I should have done. But body says sleep. I'm just like, I hear you.
See, man, I have to tell you this because you told us you were going to do this, and
Yes.
you were having this vision quest, which I was like very impressed by. And then that whole week, I was like, hey, CL, man, where's LAT? And he was like, man, he's on another plane of existence. That's where he's at. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that. He's off on another plane of existence. And now you're telling me you was just laying there giggling. And I was like, man, come on.
Yeah, man. I wish I could report. I swear to God, I wish I could report that it was a mind altering grape, but it wasn't.
Okay.
It was just, I could have smoked some weed and probably got the same effect.
So would you try this? You said you got a stomach ache. Would you try this again?
Yeah.
You would.
I probably would, but I'm in no rush. It's like I said, it wasn't something that it wasn't that pleasant. It wasn't a bad experience, but it wasn't pleasant enough that I want to do it again. Maybe that's just how I react. That's just, some people don't, some people can't get, drunk. Actually, everyone can get drunk if they try, but you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
But some people just don't react the same, or maybe it was that, I don't know, hybrid of mushrooms. I don't know, whatever that. So I don't know. There are a lot of factors that affects, that kind of thing. But like I said, it was an interesting experience. I might try it again later, but I'm in no rush. It wasn't.
But you're glad you tried this one time, though.
I am absolutely glad I tried it, just because it was a shot. I'm still very interested in sort of reaching higher, plateaus, in my mind, if I can. It seems like something that's interesting. So yeah, I'm interested in that, and I'm willing to revisit, trying to get there. I try to meditate. I'm trying to do all those kind of things, meditation and just sitting in quietness and all that crazy stuff. I've been doing all that stuff, and just in an attempt to sort of reach that other level. I'm not there yet.
That reminds me that I wanted to ask you in particular, because I've been looking like you want to unlock that other layer of creativity. And have you ever read The Artist's Way?
You're the third person who's asked me.
I never read it.
That to me. Yeah, I haven't read it either, but yeah, people keep telling me to read it.
It seems like it's some new age BS, but that's where I thought, I should open my mind. Maybe I should read it, and instead of people telling me it's new age BS, maybe I should read it for myself and judge what it is. But I wondered if you have read it. So you have not read it either.
I haven't read it. I think, thanks for reminding me, though, because I'll put it on. It's in my queue now, so it will be.
Okay. Yeah. I was looking to grab a hold of it too. So that'll be curious to see what you think, versus what I think about it. Let's revisit that at some point.
Absolutely.
So what spurred all this, man? What caused you to want to go on this vision quest? And you talked about meditation. What are you looking for, man?
I don't know, man. I'm just I think I've been just sort of coasting, for the last couple of years. I got a pretty.
Are you tired of this life of liquor and hoes, or what?
Who
get tired of that?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not tired of that, not yet. But I just think that, I'm just like, well, I got this. Like, there's got to be something else out there, because this is starting to get boring. This particular sort of way that I'm living right now, I'm starting to get bored with it, and so I'm just like, all right, it's time to make a change. So let's see what else is out there. It's a bit of a not in a bad way. It's like I said, I'm more bored than anything, but I'm in a bit of a rut, and so I'm just like, what, I need to see what else is out there, see what happens.
You could become a woman. That'll change.
A what?
A woman.
Become a woman.
It's all the rage right now. It's pretty popular.
Yeah. I mean, we'll follow your journey if you want.
All right.
Yes.
Yes, I will become a woman. Moving forward, my name is Lavella. No, LaVelvet. I like LaVelvet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's classic. That's the new classic.
LaVelvet Jones. That's right.
Yes, that'll be my girl name. But no, man, and I'm just I don't know. I don't know. I just think, we I can't say we. I can only speak for myself. Um, you get to a point where where you're on autopilot, and I don't like the feeling of that I'm on autopilot. So that's why I'm trying to reach other plateaus or just see what else is out there. Is there a new way of thinking? Because I got this one already. This one is I'm set. I'm bored.
I feel like you might need, I mean, I've tried like the meditation, I've tried some of these things, but I feel like you need someone to lead you through it. Because like myself, you might listen to an audio or even a YouTube or some kind of thing, and it's like, well, I don't know if I'm doing this, I'm not reaching anything. But what would you try next to do that? I mean,
I
you've
don't know
already
what I
done
want to
the
try.
psychotropic drug. What would you try
Yes.
next?
I think I'm gonna hit meditation again and maybe dive a little deeper if I can. I find it hard, to just sit still for even though I'm listening to someone saying mantras to me or whatever, or the yoga instructor or whatever. I'm hearing their voice, but I'm also like, oh man, I gotta go to the store to, I'm also
Right, right.
running down my grocery list, things like that. So maybe I think I need to hit that meditation and really don't think about, my next after I'm done meditating. While I'm meditating, I'm thinking about what I got to do after I'm done meditating. And I don't think that's the approach. You have to sort of
Right.
let go for 30 minutes or however long.
But yeah, easier said than done.
I
But
know exactly. So I'm gonna try it again and see what happens. And I think that's my next. I'm gonna go back and see about meditating. 'Cause, I'm not trying to jump back into the psychotropics, man. I don't want to fry my brain. So yeah,
What's
that's what I'm.
what's the one where they go off? I don't know if it's they go to like the Amazon, and it's like they have a shaman kind of lead them through this thing,
Oh
like
yeah,
ayahuasca or something like that.
yes, ayahuasca. Yeah, yeah.
Would you ever try some of that? I heard that was supposed to be pretty powerful.
I know a couple of folks who definitely, at least they tell me they have. I don't know. I believe people when they tell me things, but I know a couple of folks who tell me they've done it and they swear by it. And they don't seem too goofy to me. They seem like pretty smart and intelligent people. So I was like, I hear what you're saying. Versus sort of some kind of versus you know every place has a Smokey or whatever. It's versus Smokey telling me the dude I know is just high all the time. I'm just like, I don't know if I believe this. This dude just like not being alert or whatever.
yeah, the dude is like, put these coffee grounds and these mushrooms
Yeah,
together with this paint,
exactly.
and
Yeah,
you'll be at another level.
but yeah. So it didn't come from some guy like that. It was just some folks who I respect their opinions and I think they're smart. So they swear by it, and I'm just like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Just because it just seems if I can't get a buzz off shrooms, I'm definitely not going to the next level. So
Right, right.
so yeah, it does sound like it's an option. I mean, this is corny as it sounds. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to meditation though. That's the move. Don't worry, you guys are here the journey in real time. Lavelle is on some shit today.
Yeah, we'll
I
just keep
I think
checking
you
the
should.
news and make sure.
I think Val, you should just start your own cult, man. That's what you should do. Just claim you experienced something. Get some people to believe you. Start building some momentum. You know what I mean? You got to be a little eccentric. Do
I
some crazy
know.
shit.
I don't look good in a robe though.
Hey man.
Don't you have to? Don't you have to wear robes in a cult?
I mean a robe and some, but I mean you could do like a Hugh Hefner robe. You know what I'm saying? Like a smoking jacket or whatever.
Smoking jacket, yeah.
You know what I mean? Do
Have a
a new
compound.
school style cult leader. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Well, but yeah, man. It's been a weird. So I sound so new age because I'm not. But there's been a weird energy going on. Maybe that's what I'm reacting to. I hear about, and I'm just throwing terms out there that I hear on other podcasts or on on NPR or wherever. But I hear that, Mercury's in retrograde, and even though I don't believe in that stuff, but I definitely feel a different energy.
Man,
See?
are you sure? Are you sure you ain't have some side effects from that thing?
Yeah,
Come
I
on,
mean,
you guys hear these stuff. You guys hear this stuff, right? Maybe there's
Man,
something to it.
hey JG, this dude over here, like, man, look, I was consulting my crystals.
well,
I
honestly, I have to admit this, right? I don't believe in astrology, but except that my sign is a BS sign, and I always took offense to it. And I'm like, because my sign is the Libra, and I'm like, how come my sign is the only sign that isn't alive? It's a scale.
Right.
And I always took offense to, I mean, I don't really believe any of that crap, but I'm like, man, this is some bullshit. I want one of the better, what is this shit? A scale. Okay, everything else is like, oh, lion. Oh, check this out. Sagittarius, the archer. I'm like, man, that's fucking cool. But then we get to mine, and here's this scale. Like, story of my life.
Never thought about that. I never even thought about that. That's true. It is the only not alive. Your sign is an inanimate object.
Yeah, who made this BS up, man?
Hey, the Greeks, they believed in balance, so maybe it's the coolest sign.
Yeah, back then, 2,000, 3,000 years ago, I would have been the man.
Exactly.
I'm a Libra baby. Oh shit. Yeah, you heard right.
What they, but yeah, but no, seriously. I mean, I know you guys think I'm talking weird, but you guys don't believe that maybe there's something to it. Like I said, I find it hard to believe that the day that I was born really affects who I am. I'm more of a nurture dude. I don't think we're born how we are.
No, I don't believe in astrology whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I think, look, I think there's some truth to it. All right. And for two reasons. One is I can't, to take this conversation in a whole different direction. One is everything in this universe that we know of is made out of the same thing, atoms, right, at the smallest level.
Okay.
And just think about it. Everything is made out of the same, Lego bricks. It's just in different patterns or, combinations or whatever. Yeah. So I believe there is some connection. There's some kind of unifying thread between everything that we know as existence. And so because I believe there's some connection, I think that you can see that ripple down in patterns, right? Life, there's a lot of different patterns in life. And so I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I don't think it's that far-fetched that there are patterns related to the stars and things like that we are connected to. Now, am I looking at my horoscope every day to see what I should be doing? No, I'm not doing that. But do I think there are maybe overarching patterns that there's some overlap in with our lives? Yeah, I do think that. And I can tell you that when I look back and I thought about like relationships with women. So this is the second reason I kind of believe in this. When I thought about my relationships with women, not in the moment, this is after the fact. And then I pieced that together with like their astrology sign and things like that. I was like, oh shit, these bitches are just like that, So, you know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if that has to do with women believing more in astrology, typically than men do, and it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, and so they read their sign and they start to take on those behaviors. But when I think back about different women I've met, I'm like, yeah, a lot of their personalities match up with these different signs. There's also bias that we could be reading into it, but I think ultimately there is some overlap in the patterns. I don't think it's 100%, locked in. You're a Libra, so that's what you are. But I think there are some patterns that, what's the word? It's like a, not Freud, it's like a Carl Jungian, like archetype. I think there's like these overall patterns, and we don't fit them perfectly, but we kind of partake in some of the overarching patterns. So I do believe in that.
Okay, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Y'all are like, okay, we got to get this motherfucker off this podcast.
No, not at all.
No, man.
Just like I don't have a rebuttal for any of that.
No, I mean, I didn't know that you thought that, but that's what's good about this is that we're hearing things that we didn't necessarily know about each other. So,
Yeah, even though we've known each other for so long, man. Yeah.
exactly.
But now you know that I'm right. So I mean, that's good. That's progress. I win. I have won today's battle.
That's a definite maybe on that one. Yeah, I actually, here's the thing. I like your way better. I like it better to have this overarching plan. I just don't believe it. I always felt like this is an indifferent universe, and I can make anything fit any pattern if I really wanted to. But my way is very cold. But that's just what I think. The way I think it is. I think there's no overarching unifying force that is guiding anything in any way, and that's not something people want to hear. They're like, no, man, that's just too messed up to think that we're just out here alone and this is all just happenstance. And which I understand.
Well, see,
So,
that's interesting, JG, because I actually agree with you to a certain extent. I think there are patterns, right? There are patterns that just have naturally played out. But I don't believe any force is intervening in our lives. Although I do believe in a creator, I don't think that creator is actively involved in our lives directly. I do think it's up to us to do our thing. I think we have free choice to a certain extent, and we have to do our thing. I just think there are patterns that exist. That doesn't mean that we have to play out those patterns, especially if we're aware of them. We could choose to do the opposite of them. I think the patterns still exist, but I don't think anyone is manipulating our lives like my parents would be like, oh, pray to God for this, or through God,
like
all these
angels are over your shoulder.
Right. I don't believe that because to me, if God were to intervene in certain people's lives like that based on prayer and whatnot, then I'm like, all I can think about is, okay, right now, not to get morbid, there's someone innocent, a child being harmed right now. You think they don't want or deserve help? So if God's going to intervene on my behalf so I can win the lottery, you're not going to save that child from being abused? You know what I'm saying? Right. It doesn't add up for me. So I think we are given tools to navigate this world, and what we create is what we create. Now, what happens after death, I don't know about any of that, but I don't think God is intervening, but I do think there are patterns and signs and clues and things just built into the fabric of of the world. I don't think the patterns are fake, but I don't think anyone's like stepping in on my behalf like, oh, let's smooth the path forward for this dude.
Yeah, I usually believe that someone's stepping in to ruin my life. I don't know if anyone ever stepped in to fix it up. I'm like, man, somebody did a good job on me today.
Yes, I have a question. Do either of you guys believe in destiny?
I don't believe in destiny.
Well, define it how you think about it, so I can answer.
Well, so yeah, I don't know if destiny is just sort of like this is predetermined how your life is going to be, or something, or destiny in the sense that I don't know if you remember this, JG. I was telling a story about this track meet, and
no,
I'm not gonna. But anyway, it was a time where you and I crossed paths, but we did not realize we crossed paths. And then we end up at Lawrence together. In many ways, I'm like, oh, we're destined to meet each other. Like we probably cross paths at a bunch of track meets or at other college visits or whatever, things like that. So
yeah.
So
well, I want to
that
go
way,
back to that track meet though after this.
Okay. but it's kind of like, and to nerd it up a little bit, it's kind of like when you go to other universes and you meet your doppelganger, but somehow your doppelganger, even though it's not the exact same copy of you, they still interact with that same crew who you interacted with in your universe. And so it's just like, okay, these people were destined to meet somehow. Or
Yeah,
am I talking
actually,
crazy
when
talk?
that happens, sometimes I wonder if it's like lazy storytelling because it's. You ever notice how like, let's look at the Star Trek mirror universe, and
Yeah.
they did it on the original series, and when was the next time we saw it? Deep Space Nine, and
Okay.
they did a mirror universe, but suddenly they're dealing with those guys, and it's like, okay, well, it's kind of convenient that now that these people who we're now focused on now are also in the mirror universe, they're kind of focused on them, and I'm like,
Right. Right.
okay,
Right.
well, whatever, but yeah, yeah, I don't know if I necessarily believed in it that way, but I do want to talk about that track meet
Oh
because
God.
so as I recall, so I think I was doing the mile or something, and as usual, I was losing badly, and so I was bringing up the rear, and I think everyone was pretty much done except for me. And as I recall, I started hearing somebody singing "We Shall Overcome" or something off on the side. And I look up because I'm like, man, these Negroes. If I could have set them on fire, that I would have, but I didn't have enough energy for that. I was like, whatever, man, I'll just finish it out. And then I get to Lawrence, and I was like, wait a minute, you went to Riverside. wait a minute. And my mind went all the way back there. You weren't on track, were you? He's like, yeah, I ran track. I was like, man, you guys embarrassed me.
Wait,
I,
y'all
I had
ran
to pay for
track? I
that
never
on
knew
the.
y'all ran track.
Well,
Yeah. I
to
was
say that I ran track is kind of a misnomer. I kind of limped through it.
I
Okay.
was I was I was a fill-in. I wasn't a track star. I was just they were like, you're fast enough, to be on the relay.
Right.
We didn't have a huge track team. So
Damn, I known y'all all this time. I never knew that, man.
yeah,
Well, that's because
man.
when I
True.
got to Lawrence, I was like, nah, I'm not doing none of that. They
Yeah.
thought, they were like, hey, do you want to play basketball? I was like, no. And they were like, come on, we need you to play basketball. It would have been like that old movie Soul Man with the
Oh God.
what's the name? I forgot who it was, but
Radon Chong and
he was in it.
C. Thomas Howell.
P. Thomas Howell. Remember, they thought he was black and he was going to be good at basketball, and he was
Right,
terrible.
yeah.
I had
Right.
half a mind to go in there and just screw up everything. But luckily
Word.
for them, I passed.
Well, you guys remember I did the one wrestling match because Lawrence wanted me to wrestle for them. The one wrestling match I did do, I got my ass handed to me. And I was just like, nope, I'm done wrestling.
I think I remember you saying that. Yeah.
I remember.
like,
I remember you wrestling. I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, these fucking country boys, that's all they do is roll around.
They country strong, boy.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like, no, thank you. That's hilarious. I was like, yep, my wrestling career ended on a loss.
Was there any money in that? I mean, assuming you would have, is there any money in like wrestling in whatever division that school was in? I mean, could you have got any kind of scholarship or anything?
No. I mean, I think yes. When Lawrence had athletic scholarships, I think
They did.
I didn't
know that. Okay.
No, they didn't.
They did.
They did
Oh,
not.
okay.
The Division III schools don't have athletic scholarships.
Okay, so that was Division III. Okay.
Or did you were an athlete at Lawrence? Did they figure out a way to take care of you?
They
no scholarships, but
they made it. I think they combined it with like, because they would provide financial aid and scholarships and stuff like that. So it wasn't athletic scholarships per se, but they could fold it into.
They kicked you something.
But yeah, I did not enjoy my athletic experience at Lawrence, and I prefer not to discuss it.
we're bringing up traumatic, so we're supposed to be talking about good feelings here.
I'd rather talk about
see what you did, Val. See what you did.
Hey, maybe this is what the mushroom needed me to just like. I don't have the answers for you. There's one place you have not looked.
I'll tell you what I really think is that I think all of this is an experiment. I really do.
Okay.
I think that so, and I do admit some of this could be wishful thinking. I don't think everything is over when we die. Um, and I think this is an experiment. What would make sense to me, what would be logical to me is we live multiple lives, we just don't remember them. And that in each life, we go through experiences and we learn from them. Sometimes we don't learn from them, but we go through these experiences, and those experiences have a residue of, knowledge, experience, information, whatever. And when we come back in our next life, maybe we're a totally different person, but deep in our subconscious and our DNA, whatever, the being knows that it went through this similar type experience. And I think a lot of people, if you come back multiple times, you hopefully start to navigate life a little bit more effectively, because deeply you kind of just know the right thing to do, sort of, if you've learned your lessons. If you haven't learned your lesson, you might have to go through, multiple lives, multiple experiences, feeling the same pain before you know, before you reach that enlightenment of like, okay, this is what I need to do in these situations. To me, that would make sense, right? To me, that would make sense, because I look at nature. You plant a seed, it grows, it bears fruit. Those fruit bear more seeds that then create more fruit, and on and on and on. It's a cycle of growth and rebirth and that sort of thing. And to me, that makes sense for human life as well, for a lot of reasons. That's probably another show topic, but just to kind of tie all this together with the ayahuasca, the destiny, the astrology patterns, and all that other stuff. I think life is a big mystery, but it's all just some kind of unifying connection. And I just think it would make sense to me for it to be over when it's over. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I think that that actually works well to kind of unify things and wrap it up, because we're kind of running out of time here. But what I do want to say is that if that's the case, then whoever I was in the last time didn't learn jack shit. None of that filtered to me. But anyway, to keep this positive, LAT. So your next leg of the journey is meditation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think we can look forward to that. I really hope that bears some fruit for you. CL Smooth, are you interested in taking any kind of journey like this, meditation or psychotropics or?
Yeah, I mean, meditation. Yeah, I'm interested in. I've actually never taken any drugs. I mean, I've tried weed, but it never really worked for me. But I've never tried anything else. I haven't had a great desire to do it. But that whole kind of mind expanding, conscious altering, is there a greater knowledge out there, does appeal to me. So maybe like an ayahuasca or something like that, I could be talked into doing or trying once.
Well, you know what? Maybe that could be something we could look forward to in the future, and maybe we could all try it either separately or together. Check back with our results. But for now, we got to get up out of here. This is the end of this weekend no shows. You guys know we don't work on weekends, so we're about to get up out of here. Thanks a lot for listening, and if you like the show, please like, subscribe, share it, and we really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on the next weekend no show.
Peace out.